I'm a Rachel Dolezal birther, bro. Show me the birth certificate, because that is a woman of color in my mind. Are you ready to go, buddy?
Let's go.
Let's fucking get it. Yeah, baby!
Yeah. Okay, I think I'm a boomer. I think I'm a zoomer. I think I'm a doomer. Damn, I'm Mike a zoomer. Okay. EGGWHITE coming with the heat.
I stay fooling with my
Welcome to the Grillcast, the only podcast in the whole entire world dedicated to radical centrism. I am your host, Ryan. Joining me as always is Micah. What is up, buddy?
Ryan, it's so great to be back. And just like you, I think I want to greet all the new subscribers to the channel, whether an Indian bot or a true radical centrist. We respect you and we welcome you.
You know, I want to get into that because, yes, we've had an explosion of subscribers in the last couple of days, as some of you may have noticed. But before we do that, I need to shill our upcoming project, made possible by our Gumroad supporters. Look, it's in the development stages at this point. It should be finished by March. This is huge. My Grillis. This is going to take us out of the trailer park. This is going to put us on the fucking map, baby. This is mind-boggling. I cannot hype this enough.
Yeah, it really can't be overstated how much ground this is going to break, how this is going to alter your perception of reality and, podcasting and, this show, what this show is capable of.
Oh, my God, there will be no ground left. The ground will be so buck-broken, you won't even be able to recognize it. You'll have nowhere to stand. You'll be floating in the void. But you'll be learned. You'll have gained something, a knowledge that you didn't know you could ever imbibe upon. My Grillas, this is so massive. So I just wanted to show that a little bit and put out the hype.
Very exciting.
Very exciting stuff. And yeah, I do want to address our recent surge in subscribers because here on the Grillcast, business is a-BOOMIN, baby. Boom! All right, we're up by 300 in just a couple of days. How did this happen? I wake up one day, hungover, barely able to open my eyes. And what do you do when you just wake up? You immediately go to scroll on your phone, like every healthy, normal person does. And so I look on the YouTube studio, and what do I see? Boom! Boom! Huge subscriber influx out of nowhere. So I'm like, what's going on here? I go to investigate, and the recent Destiny episode, that seems to be the culprit. The one from about 2 months ago. I thought to myself, wow.
A fairly recent
maybe
episode.
Yeah, that one 2 episodes ago from 2 months ago. Yeah, that one. So I thought to myself, perhaps this 2-month-old video just happened to hit the algorithm, That makes sense. This hour-long video, just YouTube picked it up, finally recognized the quality content of calling Destiny a faggot and a cuck who abandoned his son. They said, wow, this is huge. We need to promote this as much as possible. And so I look at the likes, it now has 2.3K views. It has 554 likes, but I noticed an aberration. I noticed something was not quite right. There were no new comments. Nobody chiming in to say, wow, I'm so learned. I love this so much. Definitely subscribing for more.
Ryan, when I first saw that, when I noticed that that little quirk, in this new information, I thought to myself at first, well, maybe these people were just left speechless. But please continue.
That is a good point. I'd actually pondered that myself. But, I did some big brain analyzing. I brought it to the lab, I ran some tests, and I came to the conclusion that somebody botted views. Now, I don't want to be accused of botting this channel. I don't want anybody to say, oh, well, that's unnatural, to look at it, to run the forensic science and come down at us, okay?
And this is also, let's just also clarify, this is not to smear bots. Bot lives do matter.
Absolutely. Look, my Grillas, this is more than okay with me. You have to realize most YouTube viewers are NPCs. They're mental bots anyways. They say, oh look, a soy man with his mouth open. It's a gape and he's spazzing out over the newest shiny thing with a clickbait title. This is important. Take my updo, good sir. There's really no difference between Indian bots and the average YouTube consumer. in my mind. I welcome our new bot viewers. I welcome them, right?
Yes.
Beep boop bop to our base new robot viewers, my grillas. A beep, a boop, and a bop to you.
Hey, at least these bots are engaging in some form or fashion, right? They're hitting the subscribe button, they're smashing that like button. That's more than we can ask than, from many of our own fans.
Yeah. Why aren't you hitting that like button right now? You show those bots who's boss. You say, I'm going to hit that like button. I'm going to hit that subscribe and bell button. Okay.
Are you as a member of the are you as members of the Grill Show going to be outdone by bots, please?
No way. And, it also speaks to the quality of the product that we put out that a random fan out there is willing to put their hard-earned cash to make us seem more important than we are. They say, you're not getting enough traction. You're not getting the recognition and the fame that you deserve. I'm going to shell out some cash to inflate your egos. That's huge. That somebody cares that much about our product because of all the hard work we put in making bi-monthly episodes if you're lucky. We're doing a lot over here.
Although, when they do get the chance, please do make sure to send out that email to us so we can schedule your guest episode.
Right. Whoever did this, shout out to you. We bow in your aura. You are a king. And, if you're not doing this, why not? Chip in $5, $10, buy us a couple thousand more views, make us look like it. That's what Lex Friedman did, probably. This guy comes out of nowhere, literally a robot himself, gets his robot buddies to boost him in the algorithm.
Where do you think Jeff Bezos gets all his Amazon Prime subscriptions?
Well, I'm amongst them because I'm in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah,
interesting stuff.
Number go up, make me happy. Thank you very much.
Number go up. Very good. Very good indeed. And somebody's numbers are probably going down right about now, and that would be our friend Vaush. You hear about this? You hear about this guy and his kerfuffle he's found himself in recently, my grillas. We're a little late to this one.
Yes.
But I prefer to do it that way because it lets the whole story play out so that I can recap it. What am I going to do? Like, Vaush leaked his fucking porn folder containing lolly hentai fucking horses. That's crazy. And that's it. That's all we had. Because we waited, because you were so patient, you get the whole shebang in one go. Isn't
because of
that
our journalistic integrity.
Right, we needed to give him the chance to respond to these heinous allegations. Now, for those who don't know, he leaked his porn folder on stream. Very embarrassing, very bad. But what caught the ire of his detractors was the content of this folder. It contained lolly hentai, little cartoon girls fucking horses. And I have a short clip to play of this happening. I'm going to play it on repeat a couple times because his reaction to it is so funny, dude. I can't stop laughing at it.
You can see this is an example of the kind of structure that I'm referring to. You can see this is an example of the kind of structure that I'm referring to.
Whoa!
Somebody needs to cut an edit of that where it's the stream and the image pops up and then Hank Hill comes in. Whoa!
Whoa! Dude, I was literally about to say the exact same thing. That's how you know we're two intellectual titans, two peas in a pod there. So, this happens. It's short, but if it's there, it will get screen capped, it will get caught, and it will get spread for everyone to see. And that's exactly what happened to him. And many people who saw the uncensored version obviously had to post a censored version because YouTube. And I don't want to look at that shit either. But many people who've seen the uncensored version, they noticed it was full of degenerate, pedophile, bestiality hentai. And that's funny, right? Getting caught doing that shit. That's funny that Vaush got caught. But what I noticed in this folder, in the uncensored version, is even more funny from that. So I'm going to pull up a very, very pixelated screenshot of this folder. It's not going to show anything heinous or inappropriate, but it will show something that will enlighten you as to the nature of the socialist wing cuck. So in this porn folder, you can see circled here is taxes. Taxes is this nigga is literally such a socialist wingcock that he jerks off to paying his taxes. Is that what these leftoids are doing? Is that what it's all about to them? Are they in a findom relationship with the government? Is that explains so much? Tax me harder, daddy. Like this dude's literally jerking off to paying taxes.
I mean, some of the things that I know my tax dollars are going to may give me an erection.
I mean, that's fair enough, right? But his documents, he has them just in the same folder. Like, he fucking pumps one out and he's like, all right, time to take a whack at these two. I took a whack at myself. I'm gonna
I want to know what's
get
in the
this
old
all
folder.
sorted out. Huh?
I want to know what's in the old folder.
In the old folder?
Yeah, what are the sexual proclivities he's gotten over and relegated to the dustbin of his degenerate history?
Oh, man. This fucking...
Could it be inflation? Could it?
This tranny inflation hentai is so 2023. Let's get this out of here. That's the old me.
Well, I'll file that away for my grandkids to look.
I'll archive it.
It's
add it to the archive.
But yeah.
So yeah, this nigga literally jerks off to taxes. And so, he gets caught for all this. He has a good explanation for this. He puts his good word out there, takes to the airwaves to defend his honor and to clear his good name, to lay down once and for all the reality of the situation at hand, okay? Now, you might think, this is an indefensible position. There's nothing you can do to get out of this. It's so over. It's never been more jover. But Vaush is about to prove you wrong, buddy, because he is an intellectual titan, okay? Make no mistake.
The other one is like a threesome with two chicks and a guy. And in retrospect, looking at it, knowing now that artist is a lolicon, yeah, I can see it. When I looked at it, I think the vibe that I got was like short stack, thick kind of thing. You know what I mean?
The air quotes
like
aren't
the
helping
way,
there, buddy.
like goblins get drawn in porn. You'll have to entertain me for a moment on this presumed shared knowledge of how goblins get drawn in pornography. But you know how they're all like thick short stacks, right?
No, I actually don't.
I'm sorry. I can't believe this is a real dissemination that's happening right now.
Bro, he's doing like the pedophile Rorschach test. He's like, yeah, I'm looking at this picture. Maybe you see like a child being violated by a horse, but what I see is a short stack thicky goblin. The 1,000-year-old monster girl defense is out. The short stack goblin bitch, that's the new one.
I did see one clip before we were, we got here to do the show where he was essentially saying, well, yeah, I never said I didn't look at that stuff. And I went, yeah, well, I guess,
Security through obscurity, just sort of like, well, I'm not being morally inconsistent, because that's what really matters.
I think I took it more as him saying, like, you guys didn't think I was looking at this? Like,
That's true,
where is this shock coming from? I don't understand.
Yeah, that is actually a pretty good defense, being like, well, yeah, it was pretty obvious that I'm a fucking weirdo, that I'm a weird coon-brained idiot that looks at cartoon porn of little girls with horses. Like, what did you think I was doing here in my goon cave?
There was one specific clip where he's like, yeah, I have always wished that I was a horse with a giant horse cock.
We have that. We have that one coming up next, buddy.
Okay.
Don't you worry. I have the goods.
Okay.
Because he does.
I'm sorry for getting ahead of myself.
It's okay, buddy. It's okay. I'm excited too. Not excited as Vaush with his horse bestiality lolly porn, but excited nonetheless. Because he also defends not only, his penchant for lolicons, but his penchant for bestiality in a brilliant way, backed by facts and logic. I mean, his defense of this is impenetrable. It is a
no
wisdom fortress. So here we go. Here's Vaush Horsin.
Stuff is this or that, okay? I'll make it clear. You can write this down. I want to fuck a woman as a horse. None of this is a secret. To be clear,
none of this is a secret.
Many jokes have been made about this, but I stand by it. My moral principles are rock solid. My feet are firmly planted in the ground.
My
I've got
hooves are
boots
firmly
up.
planted
They're
in the ground.
Firmly. You cannot move me from my position. This
You
isn't a
can't
secret.
move me from my position.
Let's talk to a therapist. Why do you want to be the horse, Vaush? Because then I'd have a giant dick. Okay, couldn't you have a big dick the other way? Well, yeah, I could. Like, yeah, I could have a big dick hypothetically, and then do a variety of scenarios, but then it wouldn't really be a horse dick. Well, you could be a human with a horse dick, yes, but then I wouldn't have that powerful stallion energy using it. There you go. That's it. That's the whole thing.
So he's concerned about horsepower.
Yeah, he needs that high horsepower. This is beyond parody, Micah. This is beyond parody. Well, hypothetically, I could have a big dick in many different multiverses. Come on, bro. Hypothetically, I could. Nobody with a big dick, or even a normal dick, has ever said, hypothetically, I could have a big dick. This guy is so beyond compensating for, being a shrimp dick loser. He says my hooves are firmly planted in the ground. I'm unmovable in this. This is the hill that he dies on.
Yeah, no, Destiny is eating good right now. I'll say that much.
God, I hate to give him the win.
A much needed W for Stephen Bonnell.
Good for him, honestly. And that's how he gets most of his wins, is by picking the most retarded enemies on the planet. The most degenerate pieces of shit.
No, he does have a terrible track record of associating with like Hassan Piker, Vaush, Mr. Girl.
Yeah, Mr. Girl.
Like Jesus Christ.
It is amazing, the people who enter his orbit. I think he does it on purpose too, but this isn't about him. This is about this nigga jerking off to BoJack Horseman, Like, he did. He popped one off. It's the perfect show for him, BoJack Horseman. This is the average BoJack Horseman fan. Somebody who thinks they're way smarter than they really are. Somebody who equates depressive nihilism with intellectual rigor. Somebody who cooms to cartoon horses. That show was made for him in a lab.
I'm sorry, I honestly haven't watched that show. I can't speak to it, but go off, King.
Damn it. Oh well, that's okay. I set the record straight on that. You don't need to watch it because now you know the truth of it. It's basically this guy's cooming playground, that show.
I think I speak for literally everyone when I say that nobody's surprised here.
No, nobody's surprised. Like, that's part of it too. It's kind of like with Trump, where like he does something crazy or he says something controversial, and it's like, well, yeah, like we all knew that like he was gonna do that. Like, it's not surprising. Like, it's the same sort of thing. Like, yeah, obviously this guy's a fucking freak. We know this. But to move on a little bit, the person spearheading this campaign against Vaush, he's taken the mantle. Okay, he's taken the reins against Vaush, and that would be H3H3, epic streamer, king of the Jews, along with his horse-faced Jewess wife. I mean, that must really chap Vaush's hide, right? Like the H3, that J3 gets the horse wife. He must really not like that. But Vaush, he sees this, he's under attack, and he bravely defends himself from their onslaught. He gets down to brass tacks. He reveals a real intent behind J3's snaking. He defends his community. And that's, as an electronic celebrity, that's what you have to do. Your community is all you are. You lose them, you're a bum in the street. Without their $5 super chats, you're nothing. It's over. And so he bravely defends his community from J3 and his Jewess wife in this next clip.
Like the part where he said this is a pedophile community. Yeah, did he say that with regards to there being a lot of transgenders here? Is that what he meant?
Whoa!
Yeah, it's not good.
No, I think he said it in regards to there being a lot of fans of Vaush.
Oh fuck, did he really? Yeah, he did. Or at least it was gestured at, I think. But yeah.
Did he say it? Maybe, I don't know, but maybe he gestured at it. You caught me watching cartoon child bestiality porn, did you? What are you trying to say, J3, that all trans people are pedophiles? Really, J3 was attacking all trans people by pointing out that this guy's a weird coomer who gets off to cartoon children.
Yeah,
that was really the...
It couldn't possibly be that... he thinks people who look at this shit are weirdos. I don't think that's a reasonable conclusion to come to based on the evidence.
Yeah, where's your evidence? Where's your source for that? You know? For someone who spurgs constantly about bad faith actors and more bad faith, as Vaush does, there isn't one person, one motherfucker on the planet who does it more than him. Like, you know, like, the cartoon child, bestiality porn enthusiast cries out in pain as he strikes you. That's exactly what's happening here. That's exactly what's going down here. Because I'm willing to bet there's more pedophiles in his community than most communities online.
He's saying, Ethan, you're literally. He's saying, Ethan, you're literally only saying this because of the trans members of my community. Okay, it's not like you have an entire catalog of clips and videos of me saying things that indicate that I am sympathetic towards pedophilia. Okay, that just doesn't exist.
Yeah.
It doesn't exist. You can't find it. Okay, it's unverifiable.
He's using the trannies in his audience as a shield. Because, I mean, that's what all these guys do. Everybody who courts them just uses them to deflect any criticism. Like, oh, if you're coming for me, you're coming for them.
I envy those who can use trannies as shields, to be honest.
It is a pretty powerful shield. It's like heckin' Captain America's shield, you know? In the Marvel.
You just hold them. You just hold them up, and it's like, as long as you don't call me sir.
That's all they need.
I'll take whatever beating you need.
Just call me ma'am. I'll take whatever beating you need. It's a pretty sweet deal. It's a sweetheart deal for sure. But I do think that his community probably has more pedophiles than most, because pedophilia and wing-cuckery, two peas in a pod, you know? They go hand in hand. Look at 4chan. Look at Vaush's community. I mean, they're filled with lolly porn. The government, Epstein Island. Like, but, you know, despite that, I honestly think that the people who aren't pedophiles that follow him, I think they're worse. I think they're even worse. No, Micah, I know that sounds crazy, but these people are able to be tricked by the most entry-level rhetorical tricks in the game. These aren't Jedi mind tricks, bro. These are like, I don't know, like, they literally just ignore it because he's like, well, he said a thing I agree with one time. Our new bot YouTube subscribers are way smarter than them.
It's less of he said something I agree with. It's more so he set up a hypothetical scenario that I agree with in theory.
that really is the extent of the facts and logic that they're able to take in. I don't know, hypothetical situations. Whenever someone springs one of those on me, I'm just like, come back to reality, nigga. We're talking about the real world here. Hypothetically, what if you hypothetically tied a noose and jumped off a bridge with me?
Yeah, what if you
How about
hypothetically licked my balls?
Yeah, I don't know, man. Just like the type of people that can be taken in by those rhetorical tricks. Like, at least the pedophiles in this community are like, well, you know, he's advancing my pedophile cause. He's allowing me to blend in like a chameleon and seem more normal. You know, at least they have something to gain from it.
Yeah, and you may be saying, well, aren't you guys being hypocritical? Don't you put hypotheticals out there all the time? And I say to that, no, we don't. We give visions for the future. That's
right, we're soothsayers.
Yes.
We're tellers of fortune.
We're not imagining up worlds that may happen. We're telling you what's going to happen.
We're not making hypotheticals about how hypothetically we could have big penises. That's the reality, you know?
Right.
Now, you know, you watch this, you may be thinking to yourself, he successfully defended himself from this onslaught. What a showing. You know, he's come out looking like $1 million. But, you know, videos of his past have come out recently that draw his innocence into question, that make you think maybe this guy, you know, has some shady past. Maybe this guy has literally said that he's done this multiple times and will continue doing it in the future. So I'll go ahead and play that.
We've all jerked it to Lolly at some point or another.
No.
Well, you don't have a penis. We have all...
What was that look of alarm?
We have at some point in our lives been going fucking crazy on some hentai site, and we've been fucking stroking as hard and fast as we can, and then after we nut, we go back, look over our history chat, and we go like, oh, jeez. Oh, boy. Some of these girls looked pretty young. Okay.
Have we all done that? Is that a reality of the world for every guy out here? My Grillas, you're listening to this. Is this something you identify with? We've all gone to hentai websites and cranked one out to Lolly?
Look, my Grillas, I've been on a lot of Xanax at any given moment in time. And even I remember doing that. And I have not done that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's like, it's just strange how easily these fucking freaks of nature, these disgusting mongoloids, they just hand wave it away and they're like, oh yeah, well, everyone else does that too. Like, we're all doing that, bro. So it's okay. No, we're not all doing that. The fact that you think that is sick. It's just wild to me, you know? And that's how wingcucks confirm their biases, too.
Well,
That's a very wingcuckish trait. Yeah, everybody else is a fucking retard faggot like me, right? We are all retarded faggots. No, dude.
It's
we're
the
not.
most like it's the most fundamental cope that there is really. It's like, well, everybody else is doing it, so.
And that's the thing. He's speaking directly to his community. That's why they call it a pedophile community, because people listen to that and be like, been there, done that. Could happen to anyone. You're just jerking off and it
No,
just
somebody
pops
in
up on the screen
somebody in the chat that day on that stream said, "Wow, Vaush, thank you for validating me."
Yeah, it's wild to me. And, during that clip, you might be wondering, who was he talking to? He was talking to somebody. And the answer to that, my Grillas, is that was his golden ticket that he wasted, an opportunity squandered. He should have hired me as PR, because I could have saved him from all these pedo allegations. I could have saved him from all this headache and trouble with one simple trick. This was his golden ticket out, and he didn't take it. So, you ready, Micah? You ready to see this golden ticket?
I am. I'm prepared.
All right. You're going to love this. So he was talking to his girlfriend, pictured here. This is Vaush's girlfriend. And for those of you just listening on the podcast feed here, woo, buddy, my God, this is one big bitch. All Vaush had to do. This is how he could have gotten out of all of this. He could have turned her on her side, rolled her over in front of the camera, and say, hey, would a pedophile date a bitch this big? Would a pedophile do that? She's too fat to even be 3 kids in a trench coat.
Before we hear the audio, I want to point out to the audience the title is Mental Health Stream with my girlfriend.
Well, I actually don't have audio of it. I just grabbed a picture.
That's unfortunate.
I don't want to see this bitch in motion. I think I'd be able to feel the rumbling from here. I don't know. Like, he could just be talking about how he's a horse and she's a cow and they want to start a big, nice farm together. All he had to do was wheel this brap hog out. All he had to do is say, oh yeah, I love that fat roll that completely covers her pussy. It's beautiful. That's my thing.
It could be worse. It could be worse, Orion. She could be a fat child.
That's one pro tip for the parents out there. Make your child very fat so that pedophiles don't want to date them.
Jesus Christ.
Protect them, shield them.
Protect them, yeah.
Well, I guess actually Vaush would still go for it. That's what the thing, though. I think he's a pedophile. I think he likes this fat brap hog with literally her gun shielding her vagina from ever seeing the light of day. God, imagine how it smells. Like, dude, he just likes anything. This guy, any hole's a goal with this guy, literally. And I'm going to save your eyes, my Grillas, but there was a stream where she didn't know the camera was on and she walked out naked. It was so bad, dude. Like, I'm not joking when I'm talking about the fat roll. You couldn't see her pussy, but her tits were like hanging down to where her vagina should be. It was a mess. It was a mess. This is
very unfortunate.
A bad situation. But if he had just wheeled her out, he could have saved himself all this headache. Like, do you think a guy who would date a woman like this could be a pedophile? That would sway at least 50% of his detractors. So, yeah, that's about what we have for Vaush here today. Rest in piss, faggot. Couldn't have happened to a better guy. And, yeah, I mean, what else is there to say? What else is there to say?
Not much. Just, very unfortunate all around. Couldn't be
Save
us.
a horse, ride a cowboy, my Grillas. And so we've witnessed a giant L here. Biggest loss of 2024 potentially. But let's turn the leaf and look at a giant W. So there's been a recent trend. I don't know if you've been watching the news, if you've been staying politically informed and aware. But there's been a recent trend of homeless and homeless adjacent folks breaking into unoccupied homes. And they're squatting, they're saying, well, this is my home now. See, I'm in it, so it's mine. And this is really hurting a lot of land shads out there. a lot of land chads not liking this. There's numerous examples. There's a house in Beverly Hills that was abandoned by some Asian doctor that murdered his wife, flew back to, I think, Cambodia or something, flew to some country that won't extradite him. And it's been taken over by homeless and homeless adjacents. It's being partied in daily. It's being rented out by new occupants. These guys are literally taking over these homes and renting them out to people, making as much as $30,000 a month throwing these parties. And, this shows a worrying trend that many land chads are worried could happen to them at any time. They no longer feel secure in their investment. And you might think that this is a bad thing. You might think, you might be able to think, oh, I can predict what Orion and Micah are going to say. I don't know what Micah's going to say, but, they're just going to say, oh, this is land phobia and blah, blah, blah. But I don't think that could be farther from the truth. Sword LA in our Discord found a video detailing the process of this occupation and how they're getting away with it. So I want to review that video today, and I want to give some advice to help our fellow land chads out there. I want to opine upon it and, give my hot take on the situation. I need a drink. Oh, shit. I forgot this Vaush clip. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. At the end of the episode, we're going to go over my favorite Vaush clip that I've ever seen. It really speaks to the mind of the wing cuck. But first, we'll go ahead and watch this one.
This is how I got a free house in Portland, Oregon, and how you can too. So the first thing I did was find a vacant house that somebody was trying to rent. Next, I looked up how to break into a lockbox without using force. Thanks, YouTube. Next, I forged some documents. This made it look like I had a lease agreement, and I called the utility companies and had the utilities put in my name. I'm not going to pay them, but they don't know that. When the owner showed up, I politely explained that this was my house now, and they need to leave. So they call the police, and I show them my lease agreement and the utility bills, and they tell the owner that this is a civil matter, and they've got to sue me. This made the owner super angry, so she lawyers up and tries to evict me. Of course, I can't afford a lawyer, so I call up a tenant advocacy group who gives me a lawyer that's 100% free and funded by taxpayers. So my out-of-pocket is still $0. So this lawyer fights on my behalf for months and months, really driving the owner crazy and costing her tens of thousands of dollars. Finally, the owner decided it would be cheaper to just give me a chunk of cash to leave rather than continue paying the lawyer. So she writes me a check for $10K and I move out. I didn't even have to clean the place up, and that's a good thing because I do a lot of drugs and the house looks every bit of it. Still no thank you note for aerating the walls, but whatever. So I just got 9 months of free rent in a house that otherwise would have cost me $3,000 a month, plus a nice cash for keys check. And I wasn't even charged with anything. I always thought that stealing was wrong, but it turns out if you steal a house, it's not even against the law here. So this couldn't have worked out any better. Thanks, Portland.
See, I don't understand why this Land Stacy didn't just shoot this guy in the face.
That's what I'm saying. Here's where the problem lies, Mike, and I'm glad that you agree with me here. And it's why I side with this rent hog. The land chad status, being a land chad, it doesn't come free. Freedom ain't free, buddy. Okay? It's earned through being a land chad, not a land cuck. And to let somebody just colonize your home like this and take it and do nothing? Oh, I'm gonna call the police. Okay, look, we as land chads, we have a responsibility to live up to our esteemed title, to lord over these goddamn rent hogs, and to demonstrate our superiority at all times. We are superior.
You need to stand your ground that you have a title for.
Exactly. Hard times create landlords. Landlords create good times. Good times create land cucks. Land cucks create hard times. And the owner of that property was a land cuck. They did a disservice to my goddamn name and my goddamn title doing what they did. You gotta step up to the plate. You gotta show these rentoids why they belong in the gutter. Okay? Do these people not have friends, these land cucks? Like, if this happened to me, Micah, if this happened to me, I'd just be like, oh, okay, I'm gonna call up some of my boys and we're gonna kick the shit out of you and throw you in the gutter where you belong. That's what you do.
I think
you're squatting in my house. I'm going to beat the shit out of you.
It has been long past due in this country for collective action to be taken by the landlords. I think, for a long time, land chads, I think we would all agree, have been under persecution in this country. I mean, encumbered by the burdens of being the sole distributors of shelter and being resented for it. And now the rentoids have gone too far. You have people pulling stunts like this. And this Land Stacy is beside herself. She doesn't know what to do. We need collective action. We need mandatory rent payments codified by law and punishable by death, because that's really the only realistic, fair, and moral solution.
So true, King. We need mutual aid between landlords. We need to unionize, okay? We need to get some goons out there. We need to get some goons out there beating the fuck out of these retards, right?
And,
but my police said it was a civil matter, bro. There's nothing I can do. I guess I just have to go to court. What? Huh? Is that the attitude that gave your ancestors domain over their territory? You're being colonized right now. You're being occupied right now. And you fucking deserve it because you're weak, because you're a bitch, because you don't have the stones to do what needs to be done. These rent hogs are goddamn Somali pirates, Micah. Mike Grillas. They're literally walking up saying, look at me, I am their landlord now. And you pay him to leave? You pay him off? That's what you're doing? Just go there and kill him.
This would also, killing these people, it would also make rent prices more competitive because there would be less renters.
Yes.
So, it's
Wait,
actually...
Don't you want more renters to make it more competitive because there's more people? All right, we'll go with that. There'd be higher quality candidates to rent your home.
Yes,
People will take care of it like it's their own home and pay you on time.
And tip you.
You're taking out the trash. And, the other thing about this is I don't mind these rentoid colonizers because they themselves are becoming land chads by doing this.
I can sort of, I might side with like squatting on the rich. That's fine by me. Like, I don't really care. Mostly because I'm not rich. But on the majority of land chads are working class people. Okay. They're common, blue-collar, hardworking Americans like you and me.
Salt of the earth people.
Salt of the earth. So, if you want to squat on, Jeff Bezos's or Jeffrey Epstein, I believe has some vacant properties. If you want to go there and do your thing, have at it. God bless you. But don't try to take advantage of the salt of this country.
Well, if you are going to do it, don't be like this guy. Do it for part-time and then be like, oh, okay, I'll bounce out after you pay me. Stay there. Take it. Become a land chad yourself. Pass it down to your great-grandchildren and make them do a land acknowledgement in 100 years.
I don't understand
as long as their great-grandchildren say we are on stolen landlord land.
So this guy got this money from this lady, and I'm wondering, like, why didn't he just stay and then start like making payments towards the debt on the house?
Because he's going to do it again.
Make a legal claim for it, yeah.
Because it's Portland, Oregon, and they're land cucks there. Because they don't have the stones to be like, dude, no, you're not doing this. I'm going to get some of my boys together, and we're going to throw you in the back of a trunk with zip ties. And we're going to drive you out to the desert and throw you in a ditch.
Break your shins.
That would stop this immediately. And it's Portland. They're not even going to charge you for doing that. They'll be like, yeah, I don't know. It's a civil matter.
Yeah. I know. No, this is the only country you can get away with this. It's the only country in the world that you can get away with this. It's absolutely ridiculous.
It's time for, these land cucks to either nut up or shut up.
I mean, could you imagine this? Could you imagine like Israelis doing this? Like moving into somebody's home and then just... Excuse me, I wasn't finished. And then just...
No, I couldn't imagine that.
Saying that it's theirs? Could you imagine that?
No, that's nuts. This is the only country in the world where, landowners won't stand up for themselves. It's so true, King. Oh, fuck, that killed me.
But anyway.
Anyways, these land cucks aren't the only people falling on hard times. Rachel Dolezal has also fallen on hard times. Do you remember her? The woman who people claimed was pretending to be black, ran the NAACP chapter of Spokane, close to me actually, and was stealing valor. Stealing black valor. This is what people were alleging. And recently, she was fired. I don't have the news article up in front of me. I don't really know what's going on here, but I kind of skimmed it. I kind of got
She's been around the block since leaving, since being kicked out of the NAACP. She's been around the block, so to speak. Done a couple jobs here and there, and she found herself in a teaching position. And she caused a bit of a controversy, and you can pick it up from there.
Right. So she got fired from her teaching role, teaching the young minds of America simply for having an OnlyFans. She had an OnlyFans account, and we're gonna review it here. I have some takeaways from these pictures. Do you have any thoughts on this matter about her unjust firing? About what's happened to her?
I mean, I do. Before we get into our journalistic review of the content at hand, to see if it's really justified, I do want to say, I don't understand why she's being, kicked out of a public American institution. All right. This is a woman who, she wants to be a black woman. She wants to be a sex worker. I mean, these are patriotic American values, and she's been unfairly taken away from these children. And it's just really sad to see. And, I don't know what's next for her. I think I see her as someone who, maybe could be running a Wendy's at some point. That's a very strong female position, possibly the most
what every woman
strong
aspires
female position.
To.
Yeah, if you know what I'm talking about, But overall, I think this is a very gross injustice.
It truly is. So we'll review the content of this OnlyFans. We'll give it a smash or pass. So let's go. Let's check this out. Obviously, we can't show it in the recording here. You'll have to do your own research.
For the best immersive experience, please do turn up your volume.
There's no videos. See, that's one thing. She's kind of lazy about it, right? Not great. Look at those stompers, dude. Micah, you're a stomper aficionado. What do you say about those there? Just groaning, and not the good type of groaning, not the type of groaning that Vaush does while watching lolicon horse porn.
All right, I think we can end this segment.
Well, I just want to talk about this a little bit. Here's one where she's bent over, spreading her asshole, cavernous, looks a little dirty. I don't think she cleaned up quite right, but it kind of makes me think, like, when I'm looking at these, like, different races, they're ugly women are ugly in different ways. She is ugly like a black woman is. Like an ugly black woman, right? Like got some junk in the trunk, but maybe not perfectly formed. Not bad for being in her 40s, but not something to write home about, right? And to her credit, okay, my grillas, she does look like she would provide you with very sturdy and strong spawn. Look at that torso there. That is a thick torso.
Yes, your child would be playing Division I sports at a college of their choice.
Right. You would have an MMA fighter child. You'd have someone thick and sturdy. I will give her credit for that. But yeah, I'm gonna exit out of this now before I throw up.
The things we do for
That's enough of that.
For the fans.
We do this for you. It's not something we wanted to do, but we needed to give our expert analysis on what the hell is going on here. Now, I can kind of understand her being fired, to be honest, because, you look at that and it's like, well, when the children find out about this and look it up, they're going to be scarred for life. They're going to think, oh, that's what a naked woman looks like? I'm going to be gay now. This is awful. I hate this.
Yeah, I guess at this point now I can see the arguments against her being employed at the school.
The pussy's blown out. She definitely enjoyed her time in the NAACP because that thing is a wizard's sleeve. It's not great, Mike Rillis. It's really not great.
Yeah, and these images may even once again call into question the validity of her claims of her heritage.
That's
we may get new developments.
Dude. That's what I'm saying. I am a Rachel Dolezal truther, okay? Like, people are like, oh, she was just pretending to be black. She wasn't really. Okay, show me the birth certificate. Show
Exactly.
me the birth certificate, okay? Show me the DNA test. Where's her 23andMe? Where is the proof, goddammit?
Yeah, we keep
That's all I
hearing
wanna see.
we keep hearing that she had a white father, but I've never seen his pasty white dick. I've never laid eyes on it.
Show me the hog, okay?
We need the facts, okay? We need all the evidence.
I'm not gay, but show me the hog. So yeah, let's move off that. I'm a little. Mike is lost for words here. All he could do was groan and wish that he wasn't alive anymore. No matter how much Xanax he's taking, it's not
No
enough
amount,
to
yes.
forget the scarring that provided for him.
My anxiety is through the roof. So I guess we had one more thing we wanted to touch up on before closing out the show. I don't know if you had anything else, but we had an interesting political development. So the Nevada fucking hate you. The Nevada primary happened recently, and Donald Trump did not participate. He won the caucus handedly. He got pretty much all the votes, whatever. But they had a primary running simultaneously, and our girl Nikki Haley lost in this primary to the candidate of nobody. None of the above. She lost by like 60 points. So I did want to very, 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 very bad ratio there. Probably the worst ratio of all time.
It's gotta be. Imagine looking at that. Imagine taking that gigantic of an L. How is she still walking this earth with her treacherous demon feet? Just walking around, knowing that happened to her. What a loss. What an L, my Grillas.
But I did want to take this opportunity, just seeing that, because I wanted to use it to make an addendum to the radical centrist position on voting. Voting for none of the above is the only valid form of voting. That or writing in pee pee poo poo. One or the other. But I'm willing to condone that at least that amount of political
Imagine
action.
how good it must have felt to write in or to check the box for none of the above. To
And
know
have
that
it
you
win.
made a
And
difference.
have it win. Yeah.
Imagine that sense of pride that you felt that you endorsed the radical centrist candidate, none of the above, and that you won. What a win for radical centrism that we've had today, my Grillas. Bask in its glory.
A true white pill, honestly.
A true white pill moment for us to all enjoy.
God, I wish that were me.
For the first time in my life, I'm envious of people who live in Nevada. That was not on my 2024 bingo board, but wow, it happened.
And, invariably, this will mean nothing. She will still stay in the race because she's a goblin that works for the deep state, but still funny nonetheless, and it brought me much joy. So I wanted to share that with those of you who had not heard this wonderful news.
This wonderful week's old news.
Yes.
So I guess we'll finish out the show. I do have one more clip, my favorite Vaush clip. I forgot to play it earlier, but we have that for you, the long haul grillers, the one who stick around, who say, I'm not just going to be here for one segment. I'm going to hear the whole shebang. I'm going to watch the whole thing. I'm going to goon to this, I'm
going to suffer.
For these real grillas out there, you have a treat, okay? A treat of the best Vaush clip of all time.
Yes.
This really will illuminate you to the mind of the wingcuck.
Congratulations for making it this far. Here's your prize.
So here we go.
Choke out a coherent sentence. Do we think this perhaps maybe slightly speaks to the fact that there's a problem? Like, Me Too has gone too far. False allegations are ruining people's lives. Okay. Who among you have experienced sexual assault? And every woman in the room starts crying? Almost every female friend I have has been the recipient of sexual assault or violence or rape or whatever at some point in their lives. Seriously. It's such a common thing. I think 1 in 4 is probably understating it significantly. I wouldn't be surprised if the rate for sexual assault on women over one's lifetime was as high as 1 in 3 or 1 in 2. We just don't know because nobody fucking reports because reports aren't taken seriously. That's what Me Too is about.
Or 1 in 1.
So that's kind of telling, right? He's like, yeah, every female I know has been sexually assaulted.
Well, I have to give Vaush a little bit of credit here because, back when this country had family values, it was a rate of about 1 in 1.
Okay, I mean, fair enough. I think any female that's in his orbit is probably 1 in 1. I think that being around him might, boost that up a little bit. Might make you a little more likely to have been diddled or whatnot.
Yeah, well, I mean in his Discord server, I'm sure.
And that kind of speaks to the type of person that gravitates to Vaush, too. Like, every woman in the room just starts crying. It's like, yeah, that's because the people who would be around you or listen to you have to be fucked up from being raped. Like, anybody who takes you seriously has to have some horrible traumatic event that has set them off and broken their brain to the point where they're like, oh yeah, this is a smart guy. This guy isn't a total retard and faggot.
Who was that trans person we talked to about rape?
Rose Malay.
Yeah, Rose Malay. I'd like to see a Rose Malay Vaush discussion.
That's just a goon session, dude. I would not like to see that. I think it would get a little too hot and steamy for my personal taste.
I meant to say a debate.
I think they agree on everything. What would they debate? I think they're 1 in 1.
Oh, I don't know about that, but that's neither here nor there.
Right. So, you watch this, you think, okay, he's very sympathetic to women, to the Me Too movement. People saying these women are lying, that they're liars. It's horrible.
It is.
It's deplorable. It's something that is unconscionable to do this to women.
Other big words.
And other big words that make me look smart. So, let's see how he reacts to this next clip that he's playing.
You're like, I don't think things are on the same level, but things impact you in like bizarre ways. But yeah, like because the perpetrator wasn't white, and because he was like, I'm, part of like a certain religion.
Wait, are we being real?
And the police were basically just like, we can't because of cultural differences, which I don't feel like is such a good.
What? Bullshit! Are you fucking kidding me? Did she turn her fucking rape confession onto how the rape fugees fucking Ahmed Muhammad raped her and the police were like, oh, we can't persecute brown people? Bullshit! Bullshit!
Poor Vaush.
In fucking Australia?
Dude, he's literally like, all these women, they're all around me getting sexually assaulted, and we gotta believe them. We gotta hear what they have to say. It's so common. And then she's like, yeah, happened to me too, and the police didn't take it seriously. What? You bitch! You lying bitch! That's Vaush right there. He's incensed, bro. He's raging. Look at him. He can't believe this is happening to him. He immediately 180s, and look at his chat here. Rape is legal now if you're brown, everybody. Mask fucking off. Oh, she's going full fascist. Clown emojis. She lying. Look at this. So she became a fascist? Because she was raped, or is she lying? LOL. Like, this is somehow outside the realm of possibility that this happened.
I think maybe her performance just wasn't adequate enough for them. I think she wasn't displaying enough tears, I guess, or the inflection of her voice seemed disingenuous.
Right, she wasn't crying enough, so Vaush couldn't coom to it.
Right, she has an agenda here. Clearly, she came onto this discussion panel about rape to seethe about brown people.
Yeah. She's just like, all right, I have a great plan going forward. I'm gonna talk about this. It never even happened to me. I'm just lying. I'm a liar. Yeah. I'm a liar person. I'm gonna spread misinformation.
They said she's Australian. Was that what they said? This is on. Did I miss?
Yeah.
Was that accurate? Oh yeah. Okay. So she goes onto this panel to talk about rape, and her agenda is make Australia white again. That's
She went full fascist.
That is what we are to believe.
It's amazing. 10 to 15 seconds after he's just going on his diatribe, he just flips on a 180. He just flips on a 180, and his whole chat is there supporting this. Because that's the mind of the wingcuck. That's how disgusting these people are.
Why did Vaush jump to that conclusion? She didn't say anything about his race. She just said of a particular religion. She could have been talking about a Catholic.
Yeah.
She could have been talking about a Jew. But he just immediately assumes that she's talking about Muslims. Very curious, Vaush. It's almost it's almost as if you heard a dog whistle.
You know, that's the funny thing about dog whistles is that only dogs can hear them. I guess maybe horsemen can too.
Yes. It appears so. Yeah.
All right. Well, that's what we have for you, the Grillas, today. Wow, what a show. Thank you to our real fans. Thank you to our bots, our bot brigade. We love you very much.
If you're not a bot, please join the Discord, link below, and give us money on our Gumroad.
Yes. Gumroad, join the Gumroad. If you're not a bot, if you want to disprove these heinous allegations, leave a comment, too.
Come debate us on the show. Come.
Yeah. Dude, we take a debate with like some random account. I'm not a bot, and they come on and just have like AI voice.
Yeah. Or it's a little Indian. I am not a bot. I am real subscriber to your channel.
I am very real. All right. Well, with that, peace out, my Grillas.
My man said I'm zooming. Everything cool as long as I'm not Laura Loomer. If you think I'm not number one, I done spelled that rumor. Hit that victory royale on some motherfucking coochie. Default dance on a bitch. Hit the default dance on a bitch. Floss dance while I'm flossing in the whip.
You lying bitch.
In that chopper hit. Self-incrimination. I have no participation. News keep asking, I don't say shit. You can't have my conversation.
What he said.
Yeah.